Hi, my name is Andrei Bodrov. I am instructor for Russian Advanced Riding School motocontrol.ru. In this video I will pick apart a few very typical motorcycle accidents and give a few tips on how to prevent such accidents. I think this would be a series of videos. Today's one is all about intersections. So let's begin. 5 tips on how to not die on the bike on intersections. Let's start with a classical left turner. For guys from UK and India, it would be right turners for you. You'll have to mirror the situation. Others will also have to flip it upside down. But jokes aside, left turners are deadliest situation on intersections. 65% of intersection fatal accidents are left turners. Usually it happens like this. Driver wants to turn left and fails to see oncoming vehicle. So he turns left and collision happens. Now, obviously, these collisions are very dangerous to us riders. It would be really awesome if we could prevent such collisions. Fortunately, we can take few steps to minimize this risk. First of all, before you can do anything about intersection, you must know there is intersection. It means that when you are riding down the road, you shouldn't just look for a few meters in front of you. Scan the whole road in front of you. Pay attention to your surroundings. Watch for other vehicles, for their location and speed. Watch for road surface and, among other things, watch for intersections on your way. It may sound like a really challenging task, and it is challenging for a beginner rider, but soon, as you practice it, you get used to it. To make things a little easier on the start, you can use what they call fisherman vision. You throw your vision far ahead, like a fishing rod. You try to look down the road to where you will approximately be in 10-12 seconds. Then you pull your vision back with scanning motion. And then again and again. If you are looking far enough, you will know all your oncoming road obstacles and you will have plenty of time to react to them. Just as a quick example, let's watch this. Here you can clearly see an intersection right ahead and a car which can possibly try to pull out. More so, if you watch closely, you'll see that it is in fact starts moving forward right before it hides behind the truck. At this point, biker should be ready to stop. You can see he was not very ready, but fortunately they both had pretty low speed, so nothing major happened. Bottom line is it's very important to look further. Nice! Now you see the intersections and possible left turners on them in advance. What next? Next is being prepared to brake hard. First of all, don't accelerate on intersections. If you see a possible left turner and he seems to stand still, there is no guarantee that he won't turn in front of you. So don't try to fly in front of him. When you're accelerating, your front wheel is unloaded. And it will take you time to load it again, in case you need to brake hard. Then any additional speed significantly increases your braking distance. On road speeds, approximately each 20 km per hour, roughly doubles your braking distance. On top of that, bikes usually accelerate very fast. Drivers sometimes fail to recognize that oncoming bike is going too fast and pull right in front of them. So because of that, don't accelerate on intersections. You can even prepare to brake in advance, just in case. Roll off a throttle, cover your brakes and even apply them a very tiny bit. That way you load your front tire and save about 1 second of action on reaction time and braking system lag. It's quite a lot actually. For example, on 60 km per hour, 1 second is about 16 meters of stopping distance. As you can see in this clip, A car pulls out in front of a bike, but since a biker doesn't go too fast, he has plenty of time to react. In fact, there is no emergency situation at all. Nobody breaks anything, oh, shits their pants. Good for them. So as you can see, speed really makes a difference here. Another thing you can do to avoid obstacles such as left turners is swerving. But there are some things to consider first. Usually a left turner situation has two main scenarios. One is when car pulls out in front of you and stops. And another one is when driver pulls out and continues to go. There is no way you can predict his behavior. So until you watch how situation unfolds, you can't rightfully decide how to swerve. For example, if you decide to begin swerving early, a car can continue driving forward and you'll end up colliding. And vice versa. You can decide to swerve behind the car, thinking it will continue going forward. But suddenly it stops and you have to go on the wrong side of the road. Because of this, swerving is not usually recommended as a single collision avoiding tactics. Usually it combines with initial hard braking. Let's say a car pulls out in front of you. Now you are braking to reduce your speed as much as possible. This way, even if you hit it, you will have lowest possible speed and therefore will have least possible damage. While you're braking, you are also watching for the car. Is it going forward or is it slowing down? If it goes forward, now you can swerve behind it. There is no chance the car will reverse. There is not enough time for that. However, there can be other car behind it, so consider it too. If driver slams his brakes, you can try swerve in front of him. Anyway, usually you should brake as much as you can and only at the last moment swerve. This way you minimize your risks. You can also use swerve to get out of way of a car behind you. If on intersection a car pulls out in front of you, driver behind you can be caught off guard and fail to apply brakes. So it's better to avoid it as well. Now, brake and swerve is a very good move, but you really have to exercise it quite often, especially because you'll have to perform it in stressful situation. But it's totally worth it, because it will save your life if you ride a lot. I know it already saved me once. Okay, we've watched some left turners and learned how to avoid them. But there are another things to be cautious about. Like across traffic. Even if you have right of way, there's always a chance that some vehicle just jumps in front of you. Like here, for example. Notice like this guy on the scooter just looks dead straight, not paying attention to cross traffic. He didn't go fast, so he had all chances to avoid collision, if he just looked on the cross traffic. As a side note, I like how this dude takes his time and don't try to overtake a van, or something of that nature. He actually creates a good unobstructed view for himself. Shame that he hasn't used this view in the end. Talking about overtaking. Overtaking on intersections is usually a really bad idea, mostly because of two reasons. First, when you're overtaking somebody, you greatly obstruct your own vision and you hide yourself behind the vehicle you're overtaking. As in this example, we can see how dangerous it can be. Biker overtakes the van, but can't see well past it. At this moment, there can easily be a dog or a child in front of the van. Or a car, as we find out a moment later. Luckily again, slow speed prevented any collision. I give them credit for that. If vehicle in nearby lane is slowing down, for whatever reason, slow down as well, because there might be something that you can't see just yet. Second reason for not overtaking is the vehicle you're overtaking can suddenly turn right in front of you. So again, overtaking on intersections is not recommended, it's a bad idea. Last but not least, if you are stopping for a red light or a stop sign, always check your mirrors and be ready to get out of the way. The guy behind you may be very busy watching TikTok, so be ready to make way for him. Don't rush to put your bike in neutral while stopping. Make sure that people behind you stopped. In fact, I don't use neutral at all on the roads. You can start and stop your engine in first gear if you want to. And for example, if you see a traffic light with a countdown and you know you have to stop for a minute or two, you can just stop the engine when everybody behind you stopped. Be 2 minutes more green, you know. Alright, let's recap what we learned and conclude 5 tips to save our life at intersections. First, be vigilant around intersections. Look for intersections down the road in advance. Try to assume the best position on the road for better vision and watch for possible left turners and cross traffic. Don't just look dead in front of you for a few meters. Be aware of your surroundings. Second, be ready to brake hard. Maintain reasonable speed, don't accelerate right before or on intersection. It's good to roll off your throttle and cover your brakes just in case something goes wrong. Third, don't overtake, don't hide behind vehicles and try to avoid being in someone's blind spot. Fourth, when stopping, check your mirrors and be ready to take evasive action. Don't put your bike in neutral until you see cars behind you fully stopped. 5. Master emergency braking and swerving exercise. Once you learn it good, practice it at least once a week. You'll need it eventually. You can count on that. That's my 5 tips for intersections. They might sound a bit overwhelming at first, but trust me, once you start applying them and get used to them, you'll perform them almost automatically. Of course, they won't make you completely immune to any possible danger, but they sure drastically increase your chances. Okay, time to wrap it up. If you like these videos and find them useful, please like, subscribe and share it on Reddit or Facebook or whatever you got. That would be cool. And of course, ask me anything in comment section. Thank you for watching. Bye.